Polenta melts in your mouth and warms your soul, and is so much more than just a side dish. The best part is you can use whatever flavors that you like. If you've never had polenta before, it's kind of like cheesy Italian grits. So I guess I just have one question for you. How do you like your grits? Creamy, regular, or al dente? To the kitchen. I love one-pot meals, and I also love mushrooms in my polenta, so I'm going with 2 different kinds of mushrooms today. You can go with as many as you like, but these are just regular white mushrooms and baby portobello mushrooms. You can cut them up super small, but I find that they shrink and they get to the size that I want, and I don't mind some bigger, chunkier mushrooms in my polenta. Mushrooms have a ton of water in them, so I'm not going to add anything to the pan. No oil, no seasoning. Let them steam out. Don't worry if it gets a little bit steamy up in here. That's what we want. We want to get all the liquid out of these and really cook these down until there's almost no liquid left in the pan. That's when we can throw in a little bit of our olive oil. I'll also get my onions into the pot, and then I'll season heavily with salt and pepper, throw in some fresh garlic, mix that in, let everything cook down for a few minutes. Afterwards, it'll be time to deglaze the pan or deglaze. My rule is if I wouldn't drink it, I won't cook with it, so I just use a decent white wine, a little bit on the bottom, let that cook down, using a spoon to scrape up all that good flavor on the bottom. Now I'm going with chicken stock. This is just box pre-made chicken stock. It's got low sodium, so I can control the salt. This is about a half gallon of chicken stock. If you don't have stock, you go with water or anything flavorful. Honestly, I just forgot to throw in my thyme, so I'm going to do it now. I would have done it when I was sauteing everything, but no matter, we can still throw it in now. And this is just a really flavorful broth. It looks great. Well, maybe not so much, but it tastes great. It's going to give a ton of flavor to our cornmeal. Traditionally, you go with a little bit larger, coarse ground cornmeal, but I'm going with the very finely ground stuff today because I want polenta and I want it now. I'm following a roughly 4-to-1 ratio, so this is about 4 cups of polenta. If you use a little bit more, a little bit less, don't worry about it. Just use your judgment. And you just want to slowly stream it in and keep whisking, right? Don't worry if it clumps up. Just keep your heat high enough. Keep whisking fast, and you'll get it nice and smooth in no time. You'll see it thicken up. Add a little bit more. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Add a little bit more. Whisk, whisk, whisk. You'll get the hang of it. Once it starts getting to the consistency that you want, but a little bit looser because we're still going to finish with some other ingredients that'll thicken it up, that's when you can stop adding the cornmeal to it. When it gets to where you want it, give it a taste. This is how I want it. It's pourable. It's creamy. It tastes delicious. This is exactly how I want it before I add our finishing touches to it. Just be careful because it is smoking hot. But a good polenta should be looser than a 6-year-old's tooth. That's a weird reference, but I guess you get the picture. Once you're happy with it at this stage, it's time to put in our finishing touches. A lot of people just commonly use butter to finish their polenta. I'm going with mascarpone cheese. It's kind of like if butter and cheese had a baby. It's kind of like an Italian cream cheese. It's super flavorful and super creamy, and it kind of gives the best of both worlds. Just make sure to stir it in really nice. And now I'm going with Parmesan cheese. I like a lot of salty, creamy, nutty Parmesan cheese in this, so I'm just going to grate it freshly over top. Probably about a cup, and just make sure to stir this in really, really nicely. The cheese in this tends to kind of stick into pockets, so make sure that you're getting the sides and really stirring this super nicely. And you can see that's exactly how I want it. It's luscious, it's creamy, it's rich, but also light somehow. It's just the perfect dish. Speaking of dish, let's grab one. Polenta is kind of like oatmeal. You have to eat it right away, else it really hardens up, and you can do some really awesome things with it once it's hard, but if you want to eat it this way, you serve it right away. So I'm going to ladle a few scoops right onto a plate, and this is like a proverbial blank canvas for our food art, if you will, because I be fancy. I'm going to toss some marinade right down the middle. If you want the recipe for that, go check out like half of my videos that I make it in. And I also took out some mushrooms and I was sauteing them for garnish, so I'll throw those over the top. Of course, I'm going to hit it with some fresh Parmesan cheese, a nice drizzle of some rich olive oil, lots and lots of black pepper, and there you go. You can take this mushroom polenta to the bank, but I'd just rather sit down and eat it. The polenta itself is so creamy and cheesy, and obviously has that nice corn flavor to it. It's kind of like a corn stuffing. The sauteed mushrooms go so well with it, all that cheese over top. I love putting a little bit of sweet marinara sauce over it. It just complements it so well. This all ties together so great. Watching me eat this one was not a sexy scene, so I will spare you that part, but this polenta was sexy in my mouth. Things have officially gotten weird.